Life is valuable and life is precious. And as we view the graves of all those who have gone before us, we remember their worth and their dignity. And we remember that many died an untimely death. And as fragile as the leaves are on the ground, so are the lives of many people in our world. And we're called for the work of protection of vulnerable groups. And so we know that, you cannot hold the Catholic faith and be a racist. Likewise, you cannot hold the Catholic faith and condone abortion. Neglect or lack of charity are sinful. Writing off certain groups is a hateful thing. But to write off an entire group in principle, to say that in principle they're not worthy of protection, they have no dignity, that's another step. That takes it to a new level. Would you believe it's acceptable to sacrifice the rights or the very lives of an entire category of persons based on their age or their ability to speak? We know that from conception, the embryo is a distinct person. From conception, there is a human being with unique DNA, human DNA. But this person has no ability to fight back, no ability to speak. It's easier to ignore such a person because we cannot hear their cry. They don't compel our attention. And so often we decide a whole category of persons is not worthy of protection. But the logic is incoherent. Now, on lots of issues, people are correct. There are lots of life issues, and they're all vital. But for some people, there's a question of why do many people make abortion the priority? Well, first of all, because it explicitly denies an entire class of persons their value. Advocating the right to abortion, in principle, cancels human rights for an entire group. But there's another issue too. It's the matter of scale. Sometimes people say, we have to consider so many people impacted by these different issues. And I'll tell you, it's true, the numbers are staggering. Think about the leaves on the trees. Just in this cemetery, an oak tree on average, fully grown, has, maybe 63,000 leaves. Well, each year in the United States, you'd have 14 trees worth of leaves, or 886,000 deaths. How about other dire calamities in our world, evils that we have to battle? How about war? You know that World War II was one of the deadliest conflicts in history. You know how many people died in World War II? It was terrible. There were 15 million dead in battle, and another 45 million dead in civilian deaths. That's 60 million dead in 6 years. But that's still less than die by abortion in 1 year throughout the world. COVID-19 is a major crisis. It's called a pandemic. And we have a staggering 200,000 deaths attributed to COVID in the U.S. this year so far. But if this year's an average year, well, I guess we only have 3 times as many abortions so far this year as COVID deaths. These numbers are from the Guttmacher Institute, which is an affiliate of Planned Parenthood. So the scale is staggering. And maybe that helps answer the question too, why abortion is a preeminent issue and why this is a priority issue, because it attacks the core of life, that millions of persons have been written off in principle as unworthy of respect, as unworthy of protection. But we are called to offer our love, protection, and care to the most vulnerable.